What's up guys, Matt here, back with another episode of the Spotlight on Mario Kart Tour. Tonight we are here taking a look at the Holiday Tour, and happy holidays everyone. It's been a fantastic year in this game, and wow, can you believe it? We're only a couple of weeks away from the end of December and the end of the year. That's right, it's absolutely crazy. I do want to shout out Studfit and the crew over there who are working through the Mario Kart Tour awards ceremony for the best items and a bunch of other different awards. So make sure you check out Studfit's channel. I'll link down below. I'm sure you know who Studfit is by now, but make sure to vote in the survey and get involved, because it's going to be a pretty fun seeing what everyone's favorite items are from the year, and it's completely subjective. So take a look at that. But here we are in the Holiday Tour. We've got some new items. We've got some additional items coming up in the Spotlight shop. We have got some shifts in the rankings. We've got a crazy ranked cup, which people are trying to have good loadouts for, but unfortunately is very challenging. A brand new Larry with Coinbox, who we need to deep dive into. We've got a Me suit with Lucky 7 with the Santa Me Racing suit, which we need to take a look at, as well as a whole bunch of new items as well. So we're going to take a look at all of those things right now. You know what we do. We take a look at what's new, what's hot, and what's the top items in the game. Also, I want to shout out Melody, who won on our server the Action Count Champion for the Peach vs. Bowser Tour. And as part of her prize, I will be taking a look tonight at her account and giving some recommendations for her account to take a look at what kind of coverage improvements she could make for her account. So we'll take a look at that shortly, but just before we do, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, get involved, and I'll put the link to our Discord server down below. We're having a lot of fun over there, guys. Thank you to the 160 members over there. We've got 830 or so subscribers on the channel, so we're growing consistently. We've been having some videos which have been performing really well lately, so thank you for all your support. So first up, let's go ahead and take a look at the items showing up in the Spotlight shop this tour. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a weird one. There isn't really much of interest in there. Now, we're up to the Battle Tour in terms of items which are showing up. So we do see, you'll see on this infographic here, we've got Luigi Chef showing up there with one of the, the normal chance kind of item there. We've got Santa Bowser, who of course is a massive driver. If you don't have him by now, I highly recommend you pick him up. He has got some great exclusive coverage, and because he's a large driver, he has some really good value. But then when it comes to the karts and gliders, unfortunately, we've gotten a lot of these gift, holiday, Christmas themed ones, which, to be honest, almost all of them aren't great. You can see why some people say that holiday items aren't very good. Also, there isn't really much that we can see new into the Spotlight shop outside of those Christmas items. The most interesting ones perhaps are in the gliders. We have the chocolate pretzel and the parapanini. The chocolate pretzel is definitely an interesting one, and we will be taking a look at that one tonight as well. You also see the gold cloud balloons has shown up after I think the last couple of tours as well. And then there's also some items like I saw Carlos post actually a photo that he had the gold eagle, you'll see there. So for people who aren't gold pass subscribers, this means that a card which maybe if it has good coverage for your account, the gold eagle maybe not that one, but if it did, you can pick it up free of charge in the Spotlight shop if it shows up with that very, very small percentage of a chance. So take a look and make sure you check your Spotlight shop every day. There are some good items in there, and we're going to dive into some of the items tonight to see whether or not they suit your coverage, whether or not they're worth it. So let's go ahead now and dive over, and I want to take a look at Melody's account as first up. Then we'll go ahead and take a look. Flo's made some really interesting recommendations around what are the items which have had some great buffs this tour, what are some of the items which maybe haven't had some good buffs. So we'll take a look at some Flo's insights before we dive into our normal scheduling programming. All right, so here's Melody's account now. Melody and I are having a chat over on Discord, and her strategy is very similar to mine in that she's going after the items which are showing up in ranked and only purchasing or leveling up items when she needs to. And Melody is a great player. She scores very high on the action count percentages, on the potential point gain that you can get. So it's quite interesting taking a look at her account and seeing that there are actually lots of great opportunities for coverage, many of which are probably not because she isn't using a tracker, but actually probably because she is being super conservative. So well done, Melody, for the way your account performs. I'm quite impressed at how many items there are, opportunities to level up and how much more coverage your account could get. So that's absolutely a compliment. Looking at your drivers, first of all, the number one recommendation we've got for you from the Ticket Time rankings is Daisy Tydress, who would give you 20 level ups if you took her to level 6 with a double cap, which would only take 15 tickets. I'm going to click on here and click Compute Improvements. This is the item inspector in Ticket Time, which is an absolutely great feature. You can see immediately the courses that would upgrade as well as the previous best item. So right now, there's 3 really high value courses here: GBA Riverside Park RT, DS Peach Gardens R, and SNES Donut Plains 3R. 3 very, very new courses there, all of which there isn't a driver which is at a really, really high level. So we've got Yellow Me Racing Suit, Peach Wedding, and Charging Chuck Gold. Then moving on, we've got Coconut Mall, Daisy Cruiser, Remix Donut Plains 1T, Mushroom Gorge, Daisy Cruiser R, Sunset Wilds T, Coconut Mall R. What an exhausting list, guys, huge. And then on the next page, you'll see a lot of lower weighted courses, but still an upgrade. Ones like Bangkok Rush. So she would instantly give, of course, 3 different, for all 4 Bangkok Rush courses, in fact. So Daisy Tydress, really huge driver there. But of course, if you're not needing her in ranked, then hold off. Other recommendations include upgrading Rosalina Volendam from level 4 with a single cap to level 6 double cap. That, of course, will come down to whether you need that extra scoring potential. I believe she is in ranked this tour, so it might be worth taking a look. She is absolutely a safe investment for your account, giving you 21 courses there at level 6. Then the next one up is Charging Chuck Gold. I can see you went in and pulled for him, but you still have him at level 1. So let's take a look at his items, at his courses rather. And as opposed to Daisy Tydress, he has the large hitbox, so it might be worth it. Let's take a look. While we're waiting for that to load, shout out to my man Crazy, who loves King Boo. We've got this King Boo merch going on, so yeah, I'm loving it. Here we go, Charging Chuck Gold for Melody's account. We've got Remix Donut Plains 1RT, SNES Donut Plains 3T, GBA Snowland RT, obviously in the current tour, Mushroom Gorge T, Wario Shipyard T, Daisy Cruiser R, Neo Bowser City, Choco Island 1RT, Los Angeles Lap 2T, Remix Bowser Castle 1T. So some older courses as we go further through the list there. Not quite as strong as Daisy Tydress, but there is some really high value courses, and what you will see is Charging Chuck Gold is already the best driver on quite a number of these, being already at level 4. So that is a really good sign of a driver that you're probably already planning to invest further into. It would be a pretty safe investment, especially when I look at this list. He is one that's one of the newest ones high up on this list, which means he's going to get the most buffs over Daisy Tydress, Rosalina Volendam, even Petey Piranha, Gold Me. Yeah, so Charging Chuck Gold would probably personally be my number 1 decision of what to upgrade on this account. Moving on to the carts, we have a pretty crazy top 10. Now, this isn't too uncommon for a Gold Pass only account, which Melody is. You can see that every single one, if we take a look at the from level column here, only one of these carts is at level 2. Every other cart is currently unowned, which is pretty crazy. What it means is there will be a lot of overlaps between these items. So I would pick one cart that you love, that comes up in ranked a lot, that's quite new, it's still got buff potential, it's nice and big, and it really, really will formulate well for your account. So for example, I would not start with the Green Cat Cruiser or Gold Bullet Blaster. Rather, I would probably look at taking a look at the Red Off-Roader very first. So let's take a look at that one. And to take it from level 2 to level 6 and double cap it is only going to be 14 tickets. And you can see the course weighting here and the weighted score. There's quite a significant amount of scoring gain to be made from leveling up this item. So we've got DK Mountain R, Piranha Plant Slide, Bowser's Castle 3, Ghost Valley 2 RT, Remix Bowser Castle 1R, Battle Course 1, Ghost Valley 2, Piranha Plant Slide R, Bowser's Castle RT, on and on it goes. And this is an account where if you don't have yellow off-roader upgraded, then red off-roader is going to make a lot of sense. And we've got that battle course 1. That one is turning up all the time, so to level that one up could be a huge boost to this account as well. So that would be probably my number one recommendation. Ticket Time recommends the Shielded Speedster. We'll find out in just a second. Now, Shielded Speedster has had incredible value and incredibly great buffs so far. So let's take a look and you'll see very quickly why that is the case. So we've got DK Mountain RT, Remix Donut Plains 1T, Piranha Plant Slide, Boo Lake R, Bowser Castle 3, Daisy Cruiser R, Piranha Plant Slide T, Remix Bowser Castle 1T, SNES Vanilla Lake 2T, Luigi Raceway T, Bowser's Castle, Airship Fortress RT, and then we start to get into City Sprint. GBA Bowser's Castle 3T is in there. This is insane. You can see why people have been so big on this car. It's got everything. It's got such a variety of courses. Shielded Speedster, really great cut. You can't go wrong. Those would be my top 2, but of course we also see Blazing Eagle, Flowery Badwagon, Lightning Streamliner, heaps of great options in here. Tropical Truck is obviously in ranked, but what I would recommend, rather than look at ones further down the list, take a ones looking in the top 5 and pick the highest one up that you like, that's useful and ranked. Then once you've invested into that, re-look at your rankings and then see what's leveled up after that point. Maybe a completely different cart will surface because now you've invested in that other cart, and then there are overlaps with other ones which showed up in the original rankings. There's a cart, so let's quickly move on to gliders. So we've got the Tropical Balloons, the number 1 glider recommendation. It did get a buff this tour. I think it's showing up in ranked, so let's take a look at the improvements here. Alright, so we've got Remix Donor Plains 1RT, Snowland R, which is the one that's showing up this tour, SNES Donut Plains 3R, Remix Bowser's Castle 1, Cookie Land, Riverside Park RT, Daisy Cruiser R, Cooper Cape T and Normal, Sky Sunday T, 3DS Bowser's Castle RT, Baby Park R, and then a bunch of city courses down the bottom. So insane amount of every single one of these is going to gain a level up. So Tropical Balloons looks like absolutely the glider for this account, but of course there are lots of different options. Mint and Berry Balloons does overlap a bit, so I'd probably recommend either, I see that one's already at level 4, so perhaps continuing to invest into this one would make more sense. Let's take a quick look at this one. Alright, SNES Donut Plains 3T, GBA Snowland T, Luigi Raceway T, GBA Riverside Park RT, SNES Donut Plains 3RT, Daisy Cruiser R, Donut Plains 1, Cooper Cape T, Mushroom Gorge, Sky Sunday RT, Piranha Plant Slide T, DS Peach Gardens R, High Sunday R. This is a huge list, guys. So yes, Mint and Berry Balloons, you can't go wrong. And again, it is showing up in ranked this tour as well. So highly recommend that glider. Heaps of great options. Hope it helped you. Check it out, Melody, and let me know how you find that and what you're investing into over on our server. Alright guys, let's take a look now at some of the things that are showing up and some of the items that are really staking a shift in ranking. So thank you to Flo to coming up with this list, and the disclaimer, this is totally personal opinion, this is totally subjective. Everyone's account is different. So just like we did with Melody, I highly recommend you check out Ticket Time, run it on your inventory. There's a link in the description down below to try it out. So taking a look though at what's happening with some of the buffs this tour, firstly we've got the drivers, and let's see who really was the winner this tour and who was maybe more on the losing side. So firstly, Daisy Tidress got 3 more buffs, including Snowland 1, which is simply great. So she is a well-deserved number 1 in Ticket Time rankings. Even if she's not always in ranked, she got some amazing buffs. She is bound to be in ranked into the future, especially with the amount of exclusive courses that she's got. She is just killing the game right now. Then speaking of killing the game, we have Meowser. Yes, he's been around forever, but he got another buff this tour. So we're going to take a look at him just to honor this year that's been, to honor his year. I highly anticipate Meowser to win Driver of the Year in Studfit's competition. So we'll see what happens when the survey comes back and what people put in. But Meowser, yeah, he's just so strong. The only overlap there is with Larry Wintertime, the new coin boxer, which doesn't bode well for Larry Wintertime when you have to go up against Meowser. But yeah, really solid buff there for a course that he hadn't seen yet, with the Merry Mountain buff. Then we've got PD Piranha, 4 buffs almost half a year after his introduction, is outstanding. So the buffs are not necessarily the greatest. Some of them are older courses, but of course, if you had a course where you had, say, Nabbit at level 4, you've got your PD Piranha at level 6, double cap, something like that, and he overtakes that on a Rosalina's Ice World, you are laughing your way to the bank, because what it means is you just got a free level up without having to spend any tickets on that course, which is absolutely great. So PD Piranha, huge amount of buffs, especially half a year after his introduction. Then we have PD Piranha Gold. So the other way around, he only got 2 buffs, but one is a unique coin box one, and the other one is only shared with Larry Wintertime. So may as well be unique if you're not planning to level up Larry Wintertime at this stage. So PD Piranha Gold, he is looking so strong. I think he is going to be the one that is the most likely to succeed driver in the first quarter of 2023. So stay tuned, watch, and we will see pretty soon. Then moving on, we've got Luigi Knight, a great boombox buff on Merry Mountain RT, but without any feature buffs, he is losing a bit of value. So unfortunately, only 1 buff, which is pretty disappointing. He's had a bit of a lackluster few tours recently, but he did get one in the current tour, so hopefully it's useful for those who have leveled him up. Let's now move on to the karts. So firstly, we have a huge move in the rankings with the Ice Cream minibus. It got 2 Snowland buffs, which are difficult to cover. Its hitbox is obviously annoying, being one of these smaller karts, but the coverage is actually starting to look pretty great, which is surprising. For me, I invested into the banana and chocolate minibus, but yeah, now this other Ice Cream minibus is starting to look really good too, which is funny because I'm not going to invest into it, guys. But yeah, for some who want the coverage, it could be the one to go for. Next up, the Moo Moo Off-Roader, 2 more buffs, both in ranked, both with a difficult top shelf. It's crazy, guys. Now, this doesn't mean the Moo Moo Off-Roader is perfect, it's ready to go, you should take it to level 7 and triple cap it. It's not quite there, guys. I would say it's a safe investment. If you have the tickets for level 4 or level 6, single or double capped, that's probably the way to go right now. I don't necessarily recommend taking it to level 7 and triple capping it. That can come back to bite you if you do that too soon and the cart doesn't get those late term buffs as much as another cart. So then we've got the Pink Speeder. It only came out last tour, but it's already had 4 buffs, 2 of them on Snowland, 1 more in ranked. Very good buffing start, absolutely worth a mention. The Pink Speeder could be one that got away from my account. We'll have to pay attention to what it does in the rankings as we go through. Then we've got the Cact B. Speaking of taking cards to level 7 and triple capping, no buffs at all. That's really disappointing, especially as it didn't get any buffs last tour either. Hopefully that means it still gets plenty of buffs in 2023 and in the new tours coming. But yeah, really disappointing when we've got tracks like Snowland, which are really hard to cover, which you could do with a really great cart that you've already leveled up. Then we've got the Red Off-Roader, no buffs again, so it's slightly just stagnating its value. I'm a bit concerned about the long-term value of the Red Off-Roader, whether it just starts to kind of peter off now. I'm hoping that it continues to be good, but now that we've got the Moo Moo Off-Roader, you can see that they've already kind of handed over that buffing favor to it. Then, speaking of, petering out, we've got the Red Vampire Flyer, which had a huge start. A lot of people taking it to a high level already, and it got no buffs. So maybe if it peaked, then it's going to peak very low with the number of tracks. So we've got to hope it gets more buffs because right now it's not looking super flash, guys. Alright, then we move on to the gliders. We've got the Chocolate Pretzel, 2 good Snowland buffs, an item to watch since it's still pretty new but already available in the Spotlight shop. Absolutely great. We're going to take a look at that one as well. We've got the Pig Magnifying Glass, 2 good Snowland buffs, and a difficult to cover Merry Mountain R rising a bit in the rankings. Nice. And then we've got Wonderful Wings, Need we say more? It got Merry Mountain. It's basically the Meowser of gliders, right? Then we've got the Black Starchute. It only got one course, Merry Mountain RT, where we've got a lot of other good options, so it's losing its steam. Really disappointing, especially when we've got these courses like these new Stonelands that we really need great coverage for. The Black Starchute needs a cut, it needs to improve, and it just didn't, which is really disappointing. And then the same for the Silver Luigi's Moustache. It only got one older buff, no ranked appearances, so super disappointing for the Silver Luigi's Moustache when we've got the Shielded Speedster and Luigi Knight doing so well. Alright guys, that is the buffs this tour that mattered, the winners and the losers. Now let's do a deep dive into the new items, take a look. Where did they start in the rankings? Massive shout out to Larry98 who creates the Mario Kart Tour data spreadsheet, and here we are. It is a beautiful spreadsheet. Thank you so much, Larry98. We love your work. Taking a look first at the Reindeer Mini Racing Suit, we've got it currently starting out with 4 retros and 4 nitros. Not a hugely great start for it. It's got the dash ring skill, number 84 in the ticket time rankings, and it starts with DS DK Pass T, GBA Snowland T, and SNES Vanilla Lake 2, as well as DK Pass RT, and then it got Merry Mountain and 3 different Vancouver Velocity variants. So yeah, right now it doesn't have really much overlap to speak of apart from the 2 with Larry Wintertime. It's not one that you're going to be invested into based on that starting value. So let's move on quickly then and take a look at the star of the show. It is Larry Wintertime. A lot of conversation about him having a small hitbox. I did hear some people say he is a medium hitbox. I do just want to clarify that he is absolutely a small hitbox driver, same as his original counterpart, and there have been tests done to check that, and it is in fact a small driver. He starts out at number 46 on the ticket time rankings. Not great, not terrible. You know, when it's a new plus skill driver with the courses that you need in ranked, then of course he's going to start with a pretty strong ranking. We need to check his value as he goes on. So looking at his starting value, he got 7 retros and 4 nitros. He got GBA Snowland, which is unfortunately that level 8 unlock. Really disappointing, guys. We would have, if it was at level 6, that I would have been saying something very different. 25 tickets, something 24, 25 tickets to take an item to level 8 is just it's tough when you don't know and you're really gambling on their value in the future. So I highly recommend people do not take him to level 8. Just don't do it. Tell Nintendo, vote with your tickets by saving them, either leaving them at level 1 or take them up to a very basic level 4, 6, whatever you need to get the runs that you need for ranked this week. Remember, if you don't win ranked this week, there is always next week, there is always next tour. Play the long game. He got Snowland T, he got Frappe Snowland T, SNES Vanilla Lake 2R, and then a Rosalina's Ice World RT, DSDK Pass RT, GBA Snowland RT, and then the Nitros, Merry Mountain R, and then 3 different variants of Vancouver Velocity. You can see the pattern here. Really, Nintendo are starting to spread coverage and value out so much between items and between drivers, between tours, so that it's much harder to predict, and it's much harder to invest into one item because you need to spread your coverage, spread your tickets across multiple items. So that's why we have to be so cautious, guys. Looking at his overlaps now, it doesn't look like anything super crazy. However, 4 overlaps with Rosalina Halloween, perhaps you're leveled up with her. Then we also have 2 with the question mark Block Me Racing Suit. What is not visible here though is if you think about ones like Frappe Snowland T, that is one that PD Piranha Gold just got. If I'm not wrong, let me know down in the comments below if it's a different driver. And then we've also got DK Pass RT, which I believe is a Meowser course. So there is already quite a significant amount of overlap when it comes to his starting value, which means it might not be worth it to get into him in terms of investment until his coverage becomes clearer and he has like at least 5 or 6 unique courses. So Larry Wintertime, let me know in the comments down below, are you purchasing him? Are you leveling him up? If so, what level are you taking him to? And what's your strategy or your long-term thoughts around Larry Wintertime? Of course, if you love him, if you're Larry98, who has already taken him to level 8, then, fill your boots, enjoy, and this is your tour, guys, so have fun. All right, let's now take a look at the Santa Me racing suit, the one that's sitting the highest in the rankings at the starting point. So, Santa Me racing suit starts at number 42 in the ticket time rankings. It has 4 retros and 2 nitros, which is a very small amount of tracks. We hope it gets a whole bunch of buffs. I am really concerned at the number of starting courses it gets because it is a holiday themed item, guys. Sure, they'll give it the baby parks, they'll give it some different courses as we go and over the next few weeks, but I'm really concerned at what kind of buffs is it going to get in the middle of summer, when we need it, or autumn even. So yeah, I would be very cautious on leveling this item up. It does have some really good starting values. So it's got DS DK Pass R, GBA Snowland R and T, Wii DK Summit, which is the level 6 unlock. Snowland R is a level 8 unlock. Then it has Merry Mountain and Merry Mountain T. 2 overlaps already there with Mario Satellaview having really great unique coverage with ones like DK Pass R and the DK Summit as well. So a bit disappointing to see those overlaps there, but we'll have to see the Santa Me racing suit's long-term value and keep track of it. It could be a really great one. So right now I recommend picking it up but not investing into it unless you really need to win ranked for some reason this tour. Now moving on to the Pink Turbo Yoshi, it is the ranked reward in week 2, number 177 in Flo's ranking. It starts out with 3 retros and 2 nitros. It's got Rosalina's Ice World T, Vanilla Lake 2T, Wii DK Summit RT, then 2 Vancouver Velocity 2 variants. It has 3 overlaps with the Ice Dozer, 2 with the Black Penguin Slider, 2 with the Rambi Runner, and 2 with the Vampire Flyer. So okay starting value. It needs a lot more courses, guys, so this could be useful in future, so it's worth picking it up and trying to get ranked placing to receive it, but it's not the end of the world if you miss out on it. Now we've got the gold Jingle Bell, jingle singular all the way. Don't know why it's not the gold Jingle Bells like the other carts, but yep, so be it. The gold Jingle Bell is number 153 in the ticket time rankings. It picked up 5 retros and 4 nitros. So it's got Rosalina's Ice World, Snowland, Rosalina's Ice World RT, DK Pass RT, DK Summer RT. Then the nitros, it's got Merry Mountain RT, and then 3 Vancouver Velocity variants there. So yeah, okay starting value. 3 overlaps with the Cream Bee Dasher, 2 with the Armored Rider, 2 with the Cactice, 2 with the Ice Dozer and the Daikon Rocket. You can see the theme here, guys. They're all ice carts that it's overlapping with. So the concern about this one would be that it starts out with average value, then it only gets ice courses. It's also a very small cart, which is surprising being one of these sleighs. You would think a sleigh would be much larger, but it is a very small cart. I don't recommend investing into this one unless you really have to, and it gives you upgrades on a whole bunch of courses. There are much better carts to get into, and this one being themed and gold pass doesn't bode well for its value in the future. So I would recommend you skip. All right, and our last new cart this tour, the Holiday Speeder, which is the commemorative item, number 101 starting place on our ticket time rankings. It starts with 7 retro courses and 4 nitros. It's got GBA Snowland R is the level 8 unlock. Then it's got Vanilla Lake 2R, DK Summit and DK Summit R, DK Pass RT, Snowland RT, and then for the nitro courses, it has Merry Mountain R&T and the 2 Vancouver Velocity variants. So not too bad, definitely the best new starting card if you need to invest into an item. This is the one. It also has some great ranked and ACR appearances this tour. You can see there 13 ACR appearances as well as 3 in Ranked Cup. Hugely valuable and very useful item when it comes to ranked this tour. And it has some overlaps with, again, a lot of these ice themed karts. The one that makes me less interested in this item is definitely the Ramby Runner. I just don't need the coverage on these courses. So it doesn't make sense to get into a kart which starts out in a tour like this where I don't need coverage on the courses. So there you go, the Holiday Speeder. And that wraps up our karts. Let's now move on to the one glider that we've got, which is the Festive Holly. People are asking, is this going to be a commemorative item or a Ruby purchase, or is it going to be are we going back to traditional packs? The consensus seems to be right now that it's likely going to be a commemorative item in the second week as well, for that kind of $5 price point. We'll have to see and find out. It starts out at number 82 on the Ticket Time rankings. It has the Super Horn skill, and it starts with 6 retros and 5 nitros. It's retros being Snowland and Snowland R, which again, that level 8 pesky unlock. It has Frappe Snowland T, Vanilla Lake 2R and 2T, GBA Snowland RT, and then for the nitros, Merry Mountain, and then 4 Vancouver Velocity variants. It's a respectable start. It just does show you the lack of quality of the courses this tour, being the restricting component which would restrict someone starting out and investing into a glider. So I don't recommend investing into gliders straight away unless the starting value is perfectly fitting to your account, and in this case I don't think this is going to be perfectly fitting for most accounts unless for some reason you don't have great coverage on these snow courses and you want to take it to, a decent level. I do not recommend taking this to level 8 this tour, and the Super Horn skill is average, especially that, and in case you're not aware, the glider skill does in fact affect frenzies. So if you're front running with this glider, it will affect your ability to get coin box frenzies and coin frenzies as well as single coin boxes. So not a great skill to have on a glider where you can avoid it. That's the Festive Holly. Let me know if you're picking it up down in the comments below. Now let's go ahead and move on to our drivers, which are gaining value in the Ticket Time rankings. Alright, so we're just going to take a look at one of the items that is gaining value when it comes to the drivers. That is the King Boomy racing suit. And this is a really interesting one because it has gone up 1 position in the Ticket Time rankings to number 17. However, it actually technically doesn't have any new buffs this tour, which is insane. But the reason it has 2 appearances, including 1 Ranked Cup appearance, is because it's actually got a mid-shelf buff on the new DK Summit RT course, which is showing up in Ranked. So it's an interesting one. I think people will invest into it this tour if they don't have Santa Bowser leveled up, or they're not going to invest into the Santa Me racing suit. But actually, it doesn't have that as a top shelf. So when you look at the top shelf of a driver like this, of a me like this, it looks a lot worse than it is in practice because it doesn't have that many courses. It has a lot more on the second shelf, which will occasionally be boosted. So taking a look at its value then, it would have to be worth it based on these courses at a minimum to get invested into this item. So it does have 2 of the Boo Lakes, which is great, 2 of the Warrior Shipyards, it's got Ghost Valley, Vanilla Lake, it's got Maple Treeway, it's got some value there, and the overlaps it most has is 6 with Mario Samurai, 4 with Charging Chuck, 4 with Mario Satellaview there, and some others as well. So really good in that it doesn't overlap too much with Coinbox, 3 with Meowser, but yeah, the difficulty with this one is that it just doesn't have that many courses. Still number 17 in our Ticket Time rankings, and it has had some great ranked value showing up in ranked quite regularly. So we'll have to keep an eye on this one. I don't know if it's going to really go much higher in the rankings though. So that's it for the drivers, which are gaining value. Now let's go take a look at the karts. So typically on these episodes, I try not to talk about the same kart multiple tours in a row, but here we are looking at the Moo Moo Off-Roader again, and we're only doing that because it has such great buffs coming through. So this tour, it got Snowland and it got Vancouver Velocity 3R. Both of these are in ranked week 1. Both of these are hard to cover courses, which is crazy. So it has those 2 ranked cup appearances. It's number 28 in the ticket time rankings right now. It has 5 overlaps with that pink sneaker. It has 5 with the black Turbo Yoshi, then it has 4 with the pink speeder and the cacti and the warrior wagon. Other than that, the Moo Moo Off-Roader is looking really, really nice. Now, it doesn't have that many courses yet, and it does also have quite a few overlaps with some other big carts like the yellow Off-Roader and others in there too. So I highly recommend that you wait on this one if possible. However, if you've got cart tickets burning a hole in your pocket, this could definitely be the tour to look at starting to level that Moo Moo Off-Road up. Right now, I'd probably recommend taking it to around level 6 and a double cap, not any further, depending how many tickets you have. But if it keeps getting the kind of value that it's getting, it will continue to jump up places like it did this tour with these 6 places that it shifted in the rankings. Now, as mentioned before, the pink speeder is definitely one to watch after it just came out last tour, and now it's had some really strong buffs this tour. So let's take a look. It jumped up an incredible 31 places in the ticket time rankings, all the way to number 22 in its second tour. This is huge, guys. This cart could be absolutely incredible, and we are obviously weeks and weeks away from it showing up in the Spotlight shop. By the time it shows up, then we'll have to know, is it really useful for your account? Is it worth getting into? So looking at it there, it has 1 ranked cup appearance this tour. It got Snowland R, Snowland T, and Merry Mountain RT. Merry Mountain RT being the only actual ranked course that it got. So it's a bit of a sneaky cart. You might already have a decent car on Merry Mountain RT and not get into it based on that, or not do that just to level it up, level up the course. But that Snowland R and T are bound to be in ranked, if not next week, or if not next tour rather, then at some point in the future. So it's a really strong start. I would take a look at it and keep your eye on it. I know Hero of the Sky, shout out to you, dude. I know you leveled that up pretty high, so hopefully it continues to get good buffs for your account, dude. And the pink speeder, it's got 5 overlaps with the pink sneaker. It does have 4 with the Moo Moo Off-Roader, which hurts it a little bit there. 4 with the white Bruiser, 3 with the Camo Tanuki, 3 with the Ice Cream Mini Bus, 3 with the Happy Ride, 3 with the Carp Cart. So there it is, the pink speeder. Let me know if you're investing into that in the comments below. Speaking of speeders, we have had a year filled with these, and the Flaming Speeder, all the way back from, I think it was the Battle Tour this came out in, and it's starting to show up in the Spotlight shop, so keep an eye on it. I thought it would be worth covering because of that factor. Now it's jumped up an incredible 11 places in the ticket time rankings this tour, up to number 19. It has no ranked cup appearances, but it did get DK Pass T, Snowland R, and Merry Mountain R, so 3 pretty decent buffs, especially of course that Snowland R there. In terms of its overlaps, it has 6 with the Gold Bullet Blaster, 6 with the Red Off-Roader, 5 with the Tanuki, 5 with the Purple Bunny, and then 4 with the Warrior Wagon, the Dragonfly, Chocolate Banana Minibus, Cactar Gold Sweet Ride, and then 3 with a whole bunch there too. It's still got 97 courses to see. It's a pretty solid cart. It could get even better. I think this one came out as commemorative, so it seems like both the Flaming Speeder, the Blazing Eagle, the Moo Moo, these kind of ones, even the pink sneaker, these ones are starting to get some pretty nice value, so it is looking quite clear that the commemoratives tend to get the better buffs and the better starting coverage as opposed to the ones in the Spotlight shop or in the Gold Pass or as something else, ranked reward or say. So we'll have to keep an eye on this, and of course there are other things that happen, like for example the pink Speedster, which we just look at. Obviously that one is looking pretty good too, so it's not a holistic perspective. It is definitely still case by case, so keep an eye on those. But commemorative in general, if it's got a good starting value, it tends to be pretty nice and continue to get some good buffs. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at 2 gliders which are gaining value in the ticket time rankings. The first one is the pink Magnifying Glass, which jumped up 12 places to number 16 on the ticket time rankings. It has 22 retros, 9 nitros. It got Snowland and Snowland T, one of these being a Ranked Cup appearance. It also got Merry Mountain R, which is pretty fantastic. It has 41 courses left to see. It is looking quite a strong glider, being one of these green shell gliders that actually does get some good value as well, is interesting. It has 5 overlaps with the vanilla and chocolate balloons, 4 with the wonderful Garnet, Luigi's hat balloon, Candlelight Flight Cake, chocolate donut, Aurora balloon, tropical glider, strawberry donut, glittering parasol. So I think the thing holding this one back is just that a lot of its courses are a little bit older, which has meant that it has overlaps with a lot of older gliders, and it's also not getting quite as much ranked appearance. But the pink magnifying glass, if it's good for your account and you're not invested in these items I just listed, it could be really nice. So take a look. Alright, and taking a look at the chocolate pretzel, this is a glider brand new to the Spotlight shop. Let's take a look if it makes sense to pick it up. So firstly, it jumped 13 places in the ticket time rankings this tour. It is number 30 on the ticket time rankings right now. It has 2 ranked cup appearances, and it got Snowland and Snowland T, which is absolutely fantastic, to bring it to 16 total retro courses, 5 nitro courses. It still has 97 courses to see, so it could get some really great value in the future. Looking really nice there. So take a look at its track list there. It has some of the Cookie Land, DK Mountain, Peach Gardens, Boo Lake, Choco Mountain, Yoshi Valley, Donut Plains, Choco Island. So some really good courses there to see. It's got 6 overlaps with the bright balloons, 4 with mint and berry balloons, 4 with secret scroll, 4 with the candlelight flight cake, 4 with the vanilla and chocolate balloons, 4 with chocolate donut, 4 with Nabbit oil paper umbrella, 4 with green cat parafoil. Then it has 3 with a bunch there, including the wonderful wings and the pink magnifying glass, which we just mentioned. So that is the chocolate pretzel. Pretty nice glider. Alright guys, let's take a look at the top 10 in the ticket time rankings. Starting out with the drivers, we've got number 10, Rosalina Volendam, number 9, Meowser, number 8, Yoshi Kangaroo, number 7, question mark block Me Racing Suit, number 6, PD Piranha Me Racing Suit, number 5, Luigi Knight, number 4, Gold Me Racing Suit, number 3, PD Piranha, number 2, Charging Shark Gold, and a number 1 driver in the game right now, Daisy Tie Dress. Let's take a look and dive into the coverage, starting with Meowser. Alright, so he is our number 9 driver right now. He has only 8 courses left to see. He has no ranked cup appearances this tour, but he did get DK Pass RT, which is that course that hasn't come back in quite a long time. Pretty interesting for him to come back after so long and get a buff there. Shows his power as a driver. He is incredibly powerful, guys. He has 8 overlaps with Waluigi Vampire and 7 with a bunch there, but really not much to write home about. 6 with Kamek, 5 with Gold Me Racing Suit, and 4 with Gold Charging Chuck have probably been the key things to bear in mind getting into Meowser, but his coverage just, it makes so sense. He's got 34 courses, guys, so you just kind of have to be invested into Meowser at this point, especially if you're into the meta, you love great coverage, and you love Coinbox like most of us. Moving on, let's take a look at Luigi Knight. He is number 5 on the ticket time rankings. This tour he got Merry Mountain RT, which is a ranked appearance. Not necessarily the greatest course to get, guys, but he has 20 courses. He has 8 nitros as well, still 91 courses to see, so he will get some great value there. He does have quite a bit of overlap with some other plus skill drivers. He's got 5 with Yoshi Gold Egg, 4 with Charging Chuck, King Boo Me Racing Suit, Charging Chuck Gold, 3 with Kamek, King Bob-omb Gold, PD Piranha Gold, 3 with Peach Happy, and a bunch of others. But Luigi Knight's pretty solid at the moment. We'll have to see if he continues to gain value. He could become the number 1 driver in the game, but he really needs to get a bit more value before it's going to get to that point. As mentioned before, I try not to cover the same items tour after tour, but PD Piranha, I could have also looked at PD Piranha Me Racing Suit, but we'll just take a look at PD tonight. He has had some incredible buffs this tour. Rosalina Iceworld R, Rosalina Iceworld T, Frappe Snowland R, and Mary Mountain. Now, of course, what is in common is that none of those are new courses, but it's really great to see that he is still getting such amazing value. You can see this with both Meowser and PD Piranha and other ones like White Tanuki Mario, that the ones that are original characters tend to get a bit more in terms of the value when the courses return. Nintendo want these classic characters to show up on the top shelf and for people to be able to use them. So you can see that really prevalently with PD Piranha. He's got 27 retros, 6 nitros, still 64 courses to see, some fantastic value. So PD Piranha makes sense for a lot of accounts. One of the best boomerang drivers this year, and we've had many. Of course, PD Piranha Me Racing Suit has 6 overlaps. Then there are a bunch of others. For example, Pink Shy Guy Ninja, who's probably been the reason I haven't got into him. PD Piranha Gold has 4 overlaps there, and Mario King 4 laps over as well. Bronze Me Racing Suit, Luigi Knight, and Mario Samurai with 3. So there is quite a bit of overlap there. Certainly for me, Giant Banana and Coinmox are more interesting, so PD Piranha hasn't been the boomerang driver for me. However, he still is an amazing driver, and I wish I had him leveled up. I just can't justify it with the overlaps for my personal account. Our final driver to talk about tonight, guys, our number 1 driver in the game. Let's take a look at why she is the best right now. It is Daisy Tidress. Man, Rosalina Volendam on her streak earlier this year. It seems to be this kind of synergy going on with Daisy Tidress now. She's just getting course after course. So this tour she jumped up 4 places to the number 1 place on the Ticket Time rankings by picking up Snowland R, SNES Vanilla Lake 2R, and Mary Mountain R. 3 courses she hadn't seen, or all were new courses as well. Really huge value. Now, of course, again, she is not in ranked. So for many accounts like me, I still have her at level 1, which is absolutely crazy to have this incredible driver still at level 1. But looking at all those courses, they just haven't shown up in ranked where I've needed them. And part of that is because she does have a bit of overlap. 5 with Yoshi Kangaroo. She's got 4 with Mario Samurai. She's got 4 with Gold Me Racing Suit. 3 with Gold Me Racing Suit. Kamek, Meowser, question mark Block, Yoshi Gold Egg. So there is quite a bit of overlap there. I think for me, it makes me think if she turns up into ranked at the right time, maybe I will level her up to a higher level than Yoshi Kangaroo, who's still at level 6 with a double cap for me, just because I enjoy Coinbox a little bit more. Plus, she's just such a cool looking driver. So Daisy Tidress, there is a reason she's number 1. It could totally make sense, and for Melody's account, which we looked at earlier, it could totally make sense for her account too. Alright, and we're going to take a look at our top 10 carts right now. We've got a number 10, the Streetle, number 9, the White Bruiser, number 8, the Yellow Off-Roader, number 7, the Lightning Streamliner, number 6, Ice Cream Minibus, number 5, the Warrior Wagon, number 4, the Tropical Truck, number 3, the Magma Broom, number 2, the Green Cat Cruiser, and the number 1 card in the game, the Shielded Speedster. So the big shifts this tour have been really the Ice Cream Minibus jumping up 14 places, and then the Tropical Truck jumping up 10 places. Of course, we looked at that last tour. It has had some great value, and it's looking really strong. We won't be taking a look at that tonight, but let's jump in now and take a look at the Ice Cream Minibus. Alright, so it is number 6 on the Ticket Time rankings with still 75 courses left to see. It has 5 appearances this tour in ACR, with getting the Snowland R and T, neither of which are in ranked, but some absolutely solid coverage there. It has 6 overlaps with the Coral Jet Cruiser, 5 with the Goo Goo Pink, the Sweet Ride, then it has 4 with the White Bruiser, the White Snow Skimmer, Blue-Green Capsule, White Fast Frank, Cupid's Arrow. Good to see that a lot of these overlaps are with smaller carts, which means that it doesn't hurt its value quite so much, because there's no obvious big cart that you'll be invested into over this Ice Cream Minibus. So could still make sense for a lot of accounts. I'm still going to avoid it. I've got minimal kart tickets to spend, but it could be a really good one, especially if you're going for ACR this tour. All right, I think I spoke too soon. Let's take a look at the Tropical Truck because it's actually had some really good value this tour. It did actually jump up 10 spots into number 4th place. It's got Snowland T and Merry Mountain RT. This one is actually in ranked, which is great. It's got 20 courses with 9 nitros and still 61 courses to see. It's really been nice to see the Tropical Truck getting so much value, especially looking near 2 very Christmassy snow-based themes. We kind of expected the Tropical Truck not to get these kind of courses, but the devs love it, so it's fantastic to see that, and it's a great kart there. It does have 6 overlaps with the Cream Cat Cruiser. That might be the one that you avoid there, and it does have 4th the Shielded Speedster, the Combo Cruiser, Tiger Bruiser, Sunny Sailor has 3, and Paintster has 3, and a bunch of other ones too. So yeah, for most accounts, that Tropical Truck's looking really nice because there isn't really any one kart who really overlaps the most, maybe outside of the Shielded Speedster and the Combo Cruiser. Alright, and let's take a look at the top 10 gliders in the game right now. In number 10th place, we've got the Vanilla and Chocolate Balloons. Number 9, Mario's Hat Balloon. Number 8, Secret Scroll, jumping up 5 places there. Number 7, the Candlelight Flight. Number 6, the Boo Masks. Number 5, the 8-bit 1-up Mushroom. Number 4, the Tropical Balloons, jumping 4 places there. Number 3, the Mint and Berry Balloons, jumping 3 places there. Then we've got the Piranha Plant Balloons and the Wonderful Wings, the number 1 glider in the game. Let's go ahead and take a look firstly at this Secret Scroll. Alright, so it jumped up, as we mentioned, 5 places to number 8. It has 20 courses with 5 nitros. This tour it picked up Snowland R, and it still has 64 courses left to see. A really nice glider, 8 overlaps with the Fire Manta, 6 with the Piranha Plant Balloons, 5 with the Candlelight Flight, 5 with the Cat Parafoil, and 5 with the 8-bit 1-up Mushroom and the Wonderful Wings. These are the key reasons many people have stayed out of the Secret Scroll, but if you're not invested into those items just mentioned, then this one could make a lot of sense to look at. Alright, now let's take a look at the Mint and Berry Balloons. This one jumped up 3 places to number 3 on the Ticket Time rankings. So good to see this glider get some great coverage. It's picked up Snowland T this tour, just that one course, but it did show up in the Ranked Cup, which is fantastic. And then it still has 75 courses left to see, with 21 retros right now and the 9 nitros. Very, very nice. It has the most retro tracks overlap with the Flying Flappers, with 6 overlaps there. The Mario Hat Balloon 6 as well. Then we've got 5 with the Luigi Parafoil, Polka Dot Manta, Aurora Balloons, and then 4 with the 8-bit Fireflower, Golden Wings, Piranha Plant Balloons, 8-bit 1-up, Wonderful Wings, and a few others there too. So a lot of overlaps with this one. Pretty common for the gliders to have quite a bit of overlap, but it is a very nice glider, especially if you're not invested into those ones just mentioned. Alright guys, just as a bonus, let's chuck in the Tropical Balloons too. This one is just 1 place behind the Mint and Berry Balloons, so I thought it was worth a mention. It is number 4th on the Ticket Time rankings, jumping up 4 places this tour with its 21 retro courses and 9 nitros. It has still 70 courses left to see, and this tour it picked up Rosalina's Ice World and Snowland R. Neither of those being Ranked Cup appearances, but still some nevertheless great value there. And in terms of its overlaps, it has 7 with the Candlelight Flight Cake, 7 with the Vanilla and Chocolate Balloons, 6 with the Fire Manta, and then it has 5 with the Magnifying Glass, Glittering Parasol, and Parapanini and Cat Parafoil. The Tropical Balloons is a great glider, and that's why it is number 4. That's it for the episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed all of this deep dive into the data, what's going on. Let me know in the comments down below what's showing up well in your Ticket Time rankings. If you haven't tried out Ticket Time, make sure to click the link in the description down below. And of course, join us over on Discord, where we're having a lot of fun. We are building our accounts into something that's going to support us for the long run. Like if you liked it, sub if you loved it, stay tuned. Got so much more content coming. See you next time and enjoy the holiday tour. Bye bye.